Warm welcome. This is Markus Termin, Astrologisches Stundenbuch at the 24th of December 2024. It's the Christmas day. Merry Christmas. Christmas is actually more close to astrology than anything else because we know that the three magicians were being led by a star, which is actually, if you consider Johannes Kepler's calculations, the triple conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter in the sign of Pisces in those old days. This was the Star of Bethlehem. And this is the connection in between Christianity and astrology, But this is the day of the birth of our Savior, and this is also the start of the calendar. We have to take this in consideration. Time is not being measured by any atomic clock. Those don't work. Those depend on gravitation. If we have a calendar, it starts with the year 0, point Aries. That's the calendar. But anyhow, the most important aspect for today is the square position in between Jupiter and Saturn. Both big boys have a square position today, which is interesting because they met just around Christmas 2020 at the 21st of December 2020. They had a conjunction at the first degree of Aquarius, which is exactly the place where Pluto is right now. And then they moved on. Saturn, as we know, moved on to Pisces, and Jupiter is now in Gemini, and so they're having a square position. Jupiter meeting Saturn in the sign of Aquarius is all about freedom. And then if you think about that, the world situation that we are in right now had been building up for centuries. Those big corporations called WHO or NOTA or whatever, however you call them, or EU, even that, And thinking about a few years back, we had the feeling that those big corporations will take over and will have a very harsh regime on world control. It's overseeable right now that they failed completely. And they're going to fail more. We're going to see more of that failure. There's not going to be a great reset. There's not going to be a big plan of the WHO. There is not going to be a world government. Nothing of that is going to happen. Instead of, we're witnessing especially the decline of the European community, the breakdown of the German economy, and things like that. And this is all the early call of freedom. Let's call it that way. This is the opening up flowers, the first square position of Jupiter and Saturn, so this is something to celebrate. There's going to be a second square position a little later, 2025, which is going to be interesting, and we're going to have a look at the chart. But first of all, this is the chart of the day. Here you see Jupiter. This is Jupiter, and we have the square position to Saturn. Jupiter is still retrograde. And they are in Gemini and they are in Pisces. Now, for the next position of the square in between Jupiter and this is, let's call it negotiations about freedom, we'll have a very different situation. You will find Jupiter in the sign of Cancer. He's very strong in Cancer. Jupiter has a strong position in Cancer. And you'll find Saturn in the sign of Aries. He will have a walk back to the sign of Pisces though, but he's in Aries at that time, and he has a perfect conjunction to Neptune. So this is very, very new times coming in, and good so. We need it. That's very important, that thing. notably, this is not the exact chart for the next square up from the square we're talking about today. But this is a few days later. I put it out because of the Jupiter conjunction with the Sun. This is a very lucky one. Jupiter-Sun conjunctions are usually pretty fine. And what is this going to bring? You know, Neptune and Saturn in the sign of Aries. You know, usually Neptune is making Saturn a little, softening him up, you know, dissolving again. But in the sign of Aries, this is the sign of real new starts, and that is what's coming in, and we're kind of in the early glow of that. Watch it to come in. All right, this is the situation. Coming back for the chart of today, if you're sitting around the Christmas tree, take care for Moon and Lilith in the sign of Libra, you know, and as you can see, they are opposing Chiron. So usually we don't need room fights on Christmas. Take care for that. Who says the truth, who doesn't say the truth, who's on the hurting side, and things like that. This is important because we're also in a square position with Moon and Sun. You know, this is kind of the microscopic view on the day today. That's basically the situation. Mars is still in his retrograde movement. He's been a difficult Mars, moving retrograde in the sign of Lion, but Leo actually. He was very significant at the awful murder that took place in Magdeburg. You know, you have heard about that. All right, that's basically the situation. I wish you a very happy Christmas. I can't guarantee movies over the change of the year constantly every day. That's because of my private situation, but maybe I get them out on a daily basis. We'll see. And I hope you will see. Thank you for listening, and thank you for listening of those who are following me throughout this year. I'm pretty sure this channel is going to grow if we make it a little more professional with sheets of papers and things like that. If you watch this video, put the thumb up, you know. Thank you for listening. In case you want to get in contact and have a chart for next year, this is the mail address, and down here at my blog site you will find the conditions for a consultation. Markus Termin, Astrologisches Stundenbuch at Christmas 2024.